Yeah. Good morning and welcome to today's program, You and Your Environment. And with me today, I have specialists in environment matter. And today we are going to discuss about World Environment Day. And one of the participants here and my guest is Comrade Theophilus Ugu.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
For having me.
Theophilus Ugu is Secretary, Private Sector Participant at Sabah Branch. And another person is Maxwell Egbe. He is the State Secretary of Private Sector Participant PSP, State, Delta State. You are welcome.
Thank you very much.
And another person again who is also a professional in environment issue is Madam Esther Edafinene. She is Head Environmental Officer, Oshimiri South.
Good morning, Deltas. Thank you for having me.
Yeah. So today, let us look at World Environment Day. Why is it that the world is interested in the environment? Is it because it's too important or it's not important? And why would people be so keen in knowing about environment? I want to kickstart with Comrade Ugu. What do you think that brought about World Environment Day?
Okay. The reason or part of what brought about the World Environment Day is the concern on how do we stabilize God's creation. It began so many years back by the United Nations when they came together to look at the aspect of maintaining our environment for it to be habitable by human and other creatures. And it began with a lot of concern because of the effects on human activities on the environment, stemming from both the land, the sea, and the air. And so every part of the environment was a big concern to the United Nations. And that is why each year it's been marked, a particular date, which is June 5th, is marked as World Environment Day. In other words, they usually have themes which they focus on. And focusing on this theme is to create awareness on the importance of taking care of our environments. So it's something that is a global issue. And because United Nations is a body that encompasses all the countries of the world, though some may not be part, but they are nations that are united with a focus on several issues. But of this matter, their concern is on the environment. Thank you.
Yeah, so Comrade Maxwell, looking at it, this United Nations, created this World Environment Day in 1972, and it all started in 1973, where they started celebrating. And since then till now, do you think the purpose has been achieved?
Okay. Thank you very much, Mr. Gilbert. I would say to a greater extent, the purpose for UNEP, which is the department in United Nations that is responsible for environmental programs has been succeeding and has been successful to a greater percentage. That is because currently we have over 100 countries that participate in World Environment Day, and is getting wilder and getting better by the year. So they have achieved a lot because they have helped to bring to the knowledge of, I would say, countries now, the need and the importance, the aims and the objective, why we should try as much as possible to try and retain the environment in its natural course. So the United Nations is doing so much, encouraging countries of the world, especially Africa, to also key into their programs and their projects. So I would say to a very large extent, they have affected the world in general.
Yeah, Madam Esther, this year's theme is solution to plastic pollution. And do you think Nigerians truly are aware of the problem of these PET bottles that litters everywhere?
Thank you very much. This UNEP of the United Nations is actually a great event that a day is dedicated to celebrate the environment, aim at protecting and preserving the environment for it to be healthy and safe for humans and for economic development. So every year an aspect is always being used as a theme, which of course I've brought about this year, 2023. I will say that by the attitude of majority of us in Nigeria, we are not aware of the danger of plastic in general, be it bottles, be it plastic cups, plates, polythenes, anything plastic.
Yes.
One, they are not biodegradable. They don't degrade. A plastic will remain like this for thousands of years. And from what statistics, we learned that over 430 million plastics is being produced annually across the globe. And of this 430 million estimated, half of it is just designed for one's use. And then out of the remaining half that is not designed for one use, less than 10% is being recycled. And this nature of the characteristics of plastics that do not degrade, they are washed into our marine bodies. They are washed into the public drainages. And once they are there, they constitute a lot of pollution that is inimical to the aquatic lives, inimical to man, who in one way or the other consume this plastic. Aquatic life consume plastic. Remember we said that they don't degrade.
Yes.
The small particles, summer, they clog these aquatic lives, reducing their numbers. Some of them that ingest them, and because they are not digestible, man in turn buy them, eat them, consume. And then we also see that some of them are being burned, and because they are not completely combustible, you see that small particles in the air, and man as well inhale. So you find out that the danger of plastic is so much that if men are aware of the danger, like we in Nigeria, sincerely speaking, there could have been more emphasis on the way we manage this plastic as individuals and as a government. But with this kind of a theme for this year, for example, the awareness is much. Because you find out that on Monday, everybody, social media, television, they were just talking about plastic, those in the environment sector celebrating it, walk through town like that, creating more awareness. But for us this morning, we are putting our voice in creating more awareness.
Okay.
That plastic pollution is more terrible, if I may put it, even than fecal matter. The danger of plastic is really more terrible, that we should not take it with levity anymore. We can't afford to be casual over the issue of plastic again. There must be decisive, implementable measures that the government will be ready to put in place to combat to a greater extent in the reduction of this plastic pollution that we are talking about. Thank you.
Okay. Yeah, looking at what we are discussing, you see, it is good for people truly to be aware of this danger, you know. But looking at it, our we see yesterday there was a heavy rainfall, and you see everywhere was flooded. Many places, in short, no, let me not say everywhere, many places were flooded. And you will see all the drainages blocked. And what are the things that are blocking it? Plastic.
Refuse.
So, what do you think we should do? Is it the ordinary man, or the government, or NGOs, or who should at least bring this thing to the fore? Because, in fact, if I will say that people are not even undermining our talking and even doing and doing, you know, if there is no forceful agent, in fact, I don't think our people will stop all this.
Okay.
Because even when I was coming to work today, throughout from Midwifery Market down to Okpana Road, everywhere, all the center of the road, drainage everywhere, filled up. You understand? So, where do we go from here, please?
Okay. I think before I talk about where do we go from here, I want to present a scenario that during one of our trainings, we were privileged, myself and our president, to be in Ghana.
Yes,
on
okay.
the same environmental matters.
Yes.
And part of the things we saw
Yes.
in that place was a proper
Management.
plastic collection management program that is put in place. Now,
in Ghana.
in
Yes,
Ghana,
in Ghana.
Wow.
women were employed to form cluster groups to just go and pick plastics
Okay.
and come to a particular place of recycling. And you have people on ground who does the separation of the colors
Okay.
of each of these plastics.
Okay.
And you have the crushing machine that crushes it to little pellets
Okay.
that now becomes a raw material for other products. Now, we are also made to understand that time has come for us to go to what they call circular economy.
Okay.
that nothing is a waste anymore.
Yeah.
The plastic we are complaining about now is money that we are seeing littered on the road.
Yeah.
But the challenge we have is that the awareness is still not there. And that's why this program is part of the education to our people, that plastic is money.
Yeah.
And if you can gather it, I think in the state capital, the awareness is beginning to come up. But we still have the challenge of the wider number of people getting aware of it.
Okay.
You know, apart from the fact that if you're picking plastics, you're generating money for yourself, you are equally helping the environment.
Okay.
Now, the environment is being cleaned, because like what happened in this rainfall that just happened.
Yes.
People still pick plastics, but you'll be surprised that the volume of plastics in the drainage is
small.
Then you now begin to wonder, the ones that they are picking, where are they getting it from? Some people still don't have this mindset of separating their plastics, setting it separately from their home, and giving it to the PSPs to help them dispose of, or even ask, how can I sell this? You know, you can make an arrangement with a PSP and say, look, I'll be gathering this in my house. When next people will come, tell me how much you will give me for it. And you'll be shocked that that can fetch you maybe bag of another bottled water that you may not even bother to skip buying. So that can help you to solve a little problem. Now, part of the things we saw, a woman came to that place wearing earring and her shoe, I think some bangles
And bag.
Yes.
and bag
Yes.
that was made from plastic. And she was like, that if we can learn from that, nothing is a waste
Yes.
in her country where she came from. Nothing. Everything is recycled back to the system, to the economy, and money comes in. So the problem we have here is that the awareness
Yes.
seems not to have gone deep down with our people. They still believe that you are wasting your time picking plastics on the road. There is money in it. Then finally, part of the things again we learned there is that these plastics, like as our officer has rightly said, there was a picture we were shown of a malu, what we call a
Is it car?
cow.
Okay.
A cow and a ram.
Yes.
This ram that they killed, this slaughter. A ram was shown to us that had inside the intestine
Yes.
filled up with plastics that it ate. And they were thinking it was pregnancy, not knowing that it was plastics that was inside. Until when they opened it up and they saw a lot of plastic inside. This one happened in Lagos. One of the pictures that were shown. Now they now showed us the ocean bed. The number, the statistics she gave,
Tons of plastic. Millions and
is
tons.
covering the ocean.
Yes.
The ocean level right now is affected by plastics. And some persons in Lagos, Babbage, are saying that sometimes in the morning when they wake up, they discover the floating of plastics
Will come out
from the ocean,
Yes.
coming down to the land, and they begin to try to clear it. Now, where are these plastics coming from? It is flowing from these homes back to the sea, and it's coming back to us. Now, like as she said, the aquatic lives are affected. We eat those things. We are equally affected. You may ask a question: why are we having even little children having what you call cancer? What is the why? There seems to be those days there are some kind of sickness that you say no, it's for old men. But this time, even a child of 4 or 5 years is having cancer.
Diabetic.
Is having diabetes
because of what we consume.
The environment is affected, and majority of them are coming from plastics. Now look at another scenario. Somebody will buy PET bottle bag of water and you leave it in the sun.
Yes. Which
There is a
very
reaction
bad.
between the plastic
And
And the
and
sun.
the sun. And people will buy that bottled water and they
go
will,
and
they will
consume.
drink it. You are drinking
Cancer.
cancer. So people should learn how to manage these plastics properly. If you buy soft drinks that is in the plastics, avoid leaving it in the sun. The sun reacts with these things and is affecting human life. So that's why I say before we go into the way forward, we look at
That's
these
part of
challenges.
way forward.
Yeah.
They only go way forward now.
So that is the thing. So our people should know that this thing is dangerous to our health. Sicknesses are coming. You see, BP is increasing.
Crazy.
Our heart.
Everything
you
is
see a child of about maybe 13, 14, they say he's having heart problem. That the heart is blocking. What is blocking the heart? Is as a result of the things we have put in. It's not everything that we begin to call spirit. Because that is why sometimes some certain prayers is ignorance. People will just tell you it is the forefather. It is the foundational issue.
Satan.
It is Satan. It is not true.
Which is amazing.
The environment you live, it is the problem. Some don't even keep this. You see some people burning the plastics.
Yes.
And
They use it to set up fire.
and they use it to cook.
And you inhale it.
And
use it to
You're
cook this.
inhaling dangerous chemicals. Let me stop here.
Yeah. So this year's World Environment Day is being hosted by
Côte d'Ivoire.
Côte d'Ivoire,
and clouded by the by Netherlands. Yes. So, but do you think, looking at our country, Nigeria, do you think we'll be capable of hosting such a thing?
Well, Nigeria is the giant of Africa.
Yeah.
Okay.
There is nothing that is not possible.
The giant
Okay.
before giant in
Well, till now we are still giant in population.
Okay.
Nigeria can host the
Okay.
world if they want to.
Okay.
Our people, our government know exactly what to do.
Okay.
So each time they set their mind to do it, they will achieve. We can host United Nations and we can host UNEP projects. Côte d'Ivoire is there. They are doing it this year.
They've
And
done it.
okay, they've done it in
Yeah, they've done their
5th of
own.
June. And I commend them. I commend the government, I commend the people, because it's not easy to host the world, the United Nations. And I want to believe that from the theme of this year, beating plastic, that Nigeria should take a cue from that theme. I hope, and I sincerely hope that Nigerian sent representatives there, because we see these things, we don't learn from them. Even when we send people there to go and witness, they come back and they don't, whatever experience they have gotten, whatever they have learned is not being implemented in our environment. Even in Delta State, we didn't hear World Environment Day from the arm of the government. The local government did not say anything about World Environment Day. The Ministry of Environment did not say anything about World Environment Day. The DASEPA did not say anything about World Environment Day, because if you want to celebrate World Environment Day, all stakeholders
Have to be involved.
have to be involved. You cannot do it inside your office and say you are doing World Environment Day. Everybody that is involved in ensuring or that has the duty of making sure the environment is habitable should be called as part of the organizations and people that will celebrate or bring to the knowledge. We are supposed to do awareness, because the World Environment Day is actually to create.
Don't you think it is because of handing over here and there? No,
the ministry
much,
is there. Government is continuous.
Is it only
It's
this
only
one
the only commission. It's not only the political.
Government is just
government is government.
If not, I think Ministry of Environment walked along the street
Well, we are not aware. Maybe the local government.
But it was, I think it should be a low key.
Low key, yeah. But the important thing is creating awareness, because that is what the 5th of June every year is. Just to let people know that this earth we call our own, this environment that we live in, that we should take care of it, and it should be a very big responsibility to the government and to everybody.
Said only one earth.
Only one earth.
Okay.
Only one
And
earth.
That was one
we don't
thing.
have
One thing, only one earth.
Only one
Yes.
earth.
Only one earth. So,
What's
Auntie Esther, see, you are from the local government. I want to ask you, do you think your local government is aware that world is celebrating
World
Environmental Day?
Yes, we are aware.
Because
We are
I'm not
aware.
talking about your
No. When you say local government, I know what you are referring to.
Yes.
And I'm using the word we because that is where I am.
Yes.
Okay.
So I'm representing my boss, representing the management and every Oshimili SAT.
Yes.
That's why I'm using the word
We. Okay.
We are aware. Like what I'm saying, if we learn to measure and learn to measure on minus, when major things are expected and minus are expected, you'll find out that things will work well.
Okay.
Things will work well. Now we are aware by the dates.
Okay.
We are aware by the news.
Okay.
But there is nothing whatsoever
That was put on ground.
that was put on ground to see to it that it was done. Some LGA collaborated with the environmental health officers to celebrate it. Individual sponsors.
Okay.
For example, in Anyosha SAT, there was a man there. He has a project where against a desert warrior.
Okay, Desert Warrior.
Yes, that man.
Okay, yes. Okay.
He celebrated it.
It's an Ocha not to.
Yes,
I know Oshimili not.
I'm telling you,
Desert Warrior.
Anyosha SAT. I said this person.
It's from Aniocha.
I'm not saying where he came from.
Okay.
Where they celebrated in
Okay.
Anyosha
Okay.
SAT.
Okay.
Partner with the Anyosha SAT local government to celebrate it. So the environmental health officer were on ground.
Okay.
They went to sensitize the people. They inspected compound and gave financial awards to compounds that are neat, that have trees planted, like that, just to encourage people. Now, if 1, 2, 3, when Meaningful Nigeria does that, the government does that every year, whether you like it or not, the sense of I want to also partake in this kind of award and win. A quiet competition will come up. But because there are too many things that are occupying the minds of our government, thereby crowding away the important ones, programs like this are not being really promoted and well celebrated to achieve. Because it's not the essence of just say what the environment every June 5th and just coming to scribble some things on social media or on newspaper. But the ability, the purpose is achieved when that awareness creates a change in people. So if it is on that ground, there was nothing as such that was done other than the normal talk. We're talking about putting our talk to action.
Okay.
Because this estimate we're talking about the pollution of plastic. The estimate also go further to say that in 2040, if efforts are not being made to mitigate and control the menace of plastic, by 2040, this figure will be tripled.
Trouble.
And if what we have now is tripled, talk about what happened to the future generation. Talk about what happened with the environment. If the environment will still be able to bear the weight of this pollution and thereby not collapse in our heads. So our government our women Nigerians, businessmen. We're talking about sponsor just now before the program commenced. People that can sponsor programs that has to do with environment, where people are now really be engaged and create a change of mindset and attitude must be put in place. And then for those that are manufacturers, time has come that they should be thinking
outside the box.
If there should be a way to produce some things that are not plastic. I went to one pharmacy shop some time ago. I saw that their dispensing pack was paper.
Okay.
They design it like that, and that is where they put your drugs, not in plastic, that's cellophane. And I admired it. I said, oh, this is nice, oh, this is good. If all the pharmacists now are using papers as their pack, how would that be? Small pack and the bigger pack, all of them papers. But do you know that I went again to that same pharmacy? It was not cellophane.
Okay, they change again.
Cellophane.
But maybe the other one is not in stock.
No, that's what we are saying, that they should
so manufacturers should also help to see how they can reduce and produce alternative to plastic.
Yes.
Waste that can be degradable. And then the scenario that Comrade Theophilus brought when they went to Ghana. I'm really thinking to when we will see that people are also coming from other countries to Nigeria to come and copy and that can only come to pass and practicable if when we go there is being implemented.
Yes.
That is not the measure of this program, but I'd like to ask them, since the two of them came, was there any government relationship to say what and what you learn there? Okay. Let's see how we can put it so that at least in this aspect, let's also copy it. There is none. And if you say that employing of plastic people to let them put a measure to employ people that will do this job, and a recycling big company is really open for that purpose. It is then you also see political interest will come in. People that they will not employ will not be people like us who will be too big to go and pick plastic. And yet there are no on the payrolls that they are the people that are picking plastic. I do not know how God will visit us in Nigeria so that we can really change and see to it that while other countries are striving towards
perfection,
towards mitigating this pollution menace we're talking about, including that of plastic, Nigeria is busy multiplying theirs by their actions. That is something that we must really beg God to help us. Beyond this lip service, we can talk very well, but our actions contradicts whatsoever we talk on our TV. So that when they are talking on television, we'll be saying that Nigeria knows how to speak grammar. Nigeria knows many things to do.
We know many things.
But where are the implementations? Thank you very much.
Let me quickly add to what she said. In some countries in Europe, they have banned the use of cellophanes in markets to package things. In supermarkets and in companies, they use paper bags. That is bags made from paper. There is normal notebook or paper cartons. That is why cartons are being recycled now. So those brown envelopes, if you buy meat, they put it inside the brown envelope. You buy things in the supermarket, they put it inside the brown envelope. You go and buy drugs, like she said, it is inside paper because those are degradable. So the use of cellophane to package water or to package has been abolished by law in some European countries.
And another thing I also got to know in one of these outside countries too. I was told we went for a meeting in our association. We normally move from local government to local government to hold our association meeting. So one of the local government, the HPM, traveled there and they came back and was not telling us our experience that we are far.
Very far.
That the cost you will pay. The cost, how much you will pay for not bringing your bag. You didn't bring your bag to come and buy your things.
Okay.
And then they are the one that gave you
They
maybe
will
a
add-
polythene
they will add
bag.
it- they will add it to your.
Okay.
It's not just 1
They
naira.
will add it to your cost.
They will add the amount you will pay for not bringing it. So once you get one bag like that,
You keep
you
taking
have-
care
you
of
will
it,
take
wash it,
care of
and
it
take it back.
neatly. You can't just use and go and dump. You can't just use
Yeah.
to go and dump.
So that there will be no much
Much more
circulation.
yes.
So there's no much circulation of
circulation
it.
of it.
She also said that she went and dumped refuse together, and her daughter came and said, "Mom, you went to drop all the refuse together without segregating it." He said, and so he said, "You didn't? Do you know what that has cost me now? Look at the bill."
Because you did not separate. They bill you for not
You
separating.
have to separate it
Yes.
before you.
From the point of
From the
generation.
point of generation, can we come and implement things like this here so that Nigeria can look
Not
civilized?
putting soup and eba on top of PET bottles, on top of pure water sachet, on top of.
Yeah.
So these are the issues. These
So,
are the issues.
Theophilus, you heard what we are saying since. You look at it and you marvel on what we are into. I went to Akwa Ibom some time ago, and that was the time of Akpabio. You see, he did these major drainages, and as you are moving along the street, you cannot see, you will not even know there is
Drainage there.
a constructed drainage until you get to the discharge point. That is when you will know that even as you are moving,
That there's
there
drainage
are drainages under. Because looking at our own drainage here, everywhere is open. And people are, just
passing
they can
and
just
throwing
pass
things
through
inside.
and hey, bagam, bagam. This I don't know. How do you look at it? How do you see our actions?
You see, the problem we have is, you see, the political will we talk about is very powerful when it comes
to be covered.
when it comes to some certain policies of government.
Okay.
Like I should rightly say, Nigerians, we have good laws. You see this drainage matter we're talking about,
Yes.
open drainage. There are laws covering it, that when you do this kind of a thing, especially when there are residential houses, you cover it.
Yes.
But the law,
Are you not sure it was in the BOQ? It was
exactly,
deliberately omitted to get more money.
The question is, when the work was done,
Who supervised?
it's not just one agency that certifies this
The
work
work.
and says
Okay,
it's complete.
yes, look at.
Now,
Because
you see, the
definitely
reason why
you will
this
see-
one is
you will see all this.
why you're seeing this now is because it is open.
Open.
It's open.
Yes.
And automatically that place is blocked.
Yes.
When the rain falls,
It will
what
not
you
move.
will expect is that it will not move. Now you see some growths. You see those growths.
Yes.
there. Now
Yeah.
these leaves are growing because the sand has accumulated.
Yes, and
Inside.
it has
And
a
it
way.
has a way of start growing.
Yes.
At the end of the day, this particular place is blocked
Yes.
already. Now the water that is coming here, what will happen? It goes to the road.
To look for
Yes.
another
And
way.
when it gets to the road, it flows to the road and enter houses.
Yes.
It becomes a
A
problem.
problem.
So I think the government should begin to look at this aspect very, very well. On aspect, when you give contracts to a contractor, let
Due to specification.
let it be properly done, and not just because probably settling some people that work.
Yeah, because
No.
this is a good money, huge
A lot
amount of
money
money
is spent on this. We are not even looking at the lives that will fall into some of these.
Yes.
Yes.
When the rain falls and it is covered, and some people try to cross the gutter, the next thing you see, they will fall
Fall
inside.
inside.
And
And-
we say we have lost lives.
Yes.
And it is us that actually caused it. Now, there was something that they were talking about, this plastic matter. You see, you go to some, and it's a problem. Why do we have volume of these things? Plastic nylon bags everywhere. You go to buy maybe
2 sachets.
just 2 sachets of
They
pure
put it
water.
inside.
They put inside.
They put inside
One self, they put
They put
inside
inside
nylon.
nylon. Then the person will
This guy
leave. In the
reject
next
it.
2 minutes he will come back.
I
again.
reject
He will
it.
put another
No,
one.
that's what I
on the
do.
shelf, I
They
my
keep-
car, I
they
reject
keep
it.
putting.
And so you'll be dropping
But
them.
before they leave that shop,
They have dropped it on the
they
floor.
dropped it on the floor. And it is the same people that when you give them, ask them, look, they say, give me.
Give me.
I want to collect it. And they will collect
It's
it.
my right.
It's my right.
That time they tell you that it is their right.
Yes.
They will not drop it. They
Outside
will-
the place.
Even within the environment,
Yes.
they are still there. They just drink the water,
Water
and
and
drop
throw
it,
everything
drop
there.
even the sachet
sachet
water,
water,
everything.
back on the floor, and then they go. And you see people making money now in selling these bags. You see some people carry it on their head, some carry it on their hand, and they are still selling the same bags.
Look at.
And people keep producing these bags. The problem is government should come in
With a law.
with
A
a law
powerful law.
to reducing the production of plastic materials.
And they should even
And
order
apart
the
from
local
that,
Before we
government.
talk
not
of,
just
before we
that,
take off laws, there should be measure on ground
Now,
to first and foremost
Clean up.
control the system before
yes,
talk of
you see,
even
you
law.
see, like part of the things I read in one of the countries, what they do is, adding to what they said, what they do is they add money. It's more like a financial inducement to everyone who comes to buy plastic and return.
Okay.
So what some people do is when they come, they discover that there is money in it.
Yes.
Some
Yes.
people go with their flags.
Okay.
They just get to the place. As you buy maybe plastic Coke, for instance,
You turn it.
turn it inside your
And leave
your,
it there.
your
Give it
own
back.
your own flags.
leave it
As
there.
you return it back to them,
They will
there is
give you
a financial,
money.
they give you money.
See?
Wow,
So
these are the
yes,
measures.
Yes.
and they
When we
are
talk
and it's
about law,
working.
laws.
Now, that particular shop is if you come there and they have a
They
They are
are
machine.
making money from
They have a
the-
machine. They have a machine
Customers.
just by the side
To
of
just
the
gra-
person.
to
You
just
know
grind it.
exactly how much you will earn.
Yes.
So what they do is once you buy, the machine is by your side. You drop it inside. A coin
purchases.
will come out. You know exactly how much.
Okay.
So if you drop 10, the coins will come out. You drop maybe 50, the coins will come out. And you just see, you know exactly how much you are
You are going to collect.
Can our government find a
Implement.
way to help all these shops and give them an incentive? That's okay. For every plastic you return in my shop, this is the amount you will get. You see, it's going to help to reduce this plastic problem. But like as we said, we have laws. There are plenty of laws. Don't be surprised there are already laws in existence.
Yes.
But we have so much laws that are covered with dust.
Environmental laws.
Environmental
there.
laws. And there was a time
For the
we were
implementation.
talking about this plastic issue some time ago. And part of the things we are saying before the Iselazaba came on board. Now, when that came, it is working now. But the awareness is still not there. Now, look at the volume of plastic we are saying that we saw
Seriously.
on the road. Who goes to clear this plastic waste on the road? Vehicles will climb on them,
Yes.
flatten them,
Flatten them.
and the next one, rain will fall, it goes back
It
to the
goes-
same
yes.
water. So, can the government look at this issue of plastic collection as a major problem? Every household, what you see sometimes is that some people will package their refuse and everything together with plastic and dump on the roadside.
Like this one.
They just dump it on the roadside. And you see the way how this one was properly tied.
Yes.
It means the person tied
Took
it
time.
and then was just driving. The next thing, he dropped it on the road and continued his journey because they are not ready to pay the price.
And you don't even have the regret or the feeling that he's
No,
doing
the conscience
wrong
of
thing.
most of our people is what the Bible calls seared. It's been seared already. It's like what we call reprobate mind.
Yes.
Like now you do things that are not convenient. That's what the Bible says. He said when they refuse to do those things that are right, he hands them over to a reprobate mind.
And even when you caution them,
No, what
they
you
will
are
not-
saying
they
is
just like as
wrong.
if you are-
What you are saying is wrong. Now, look,
God.
you see, these things are part of the things that we need to, as professionals that we are now
Yes.
in this waste collection. I think as we keep collecting the refuse from our household, like that's why we cry every day. Let the government support the PSPs.
Okay.
If it is something like, for instance, getting a truck to assist the PSPs and ask them to pay back every PSP will pay back. And I tell you, it will help. It will create more job opportunity, more employment in this issue. Because some in your own in the areas where these things are coming out from, some people have refused to patronize the PSPs. So what do? They find a way in the open gutter, open drainages that are being solved by the government. And the government are supposed to have a task force that goes from street to street.
To educate.
The officers are here, but they need enablement. They need
to have any means of moving.
Now we are having fuel issue.
Personnel.
How will they move? You understand? She
No,
is here
they
on
have
official capacity. How did she leave the office to come here?
God is so merciful now. He has given you 2 legs. So you can.
Well, you use your 2 legs from here to say, wait, you use your 2 legs to go from house to house to check how okay. You look at the program she told us about. An individual partnered with the government, with the local government. He paid the price. When her officers were now called to come and let's partner, did they not do their work well? They did their work well, and they were happy that look, and the community, the impact of that little work they did maybe one day till now will still be speaking. How much more if they are continuous program, like maybe on a monthly basis? You ask them to come and check those things we did on World Environment Day. Come and check how far we have gone. I can tell you, it will have massive effect positively on the environment.
And if we're talking about law, I am enforcement law officer, and that is my area of specialization. I prosecute a lot. When you call prosecution, it excites me because I enjoy doing it. But you see, some of these issues is oppression on the masses.
Oppression.
Oppression on the masses. For you to make a law that somebody that dump refuse inside drainage should be punished, why should the government be a tempter by constructing a drainage that is open, that anybody can throw something into it?
You see?
So are you getting it? If the government we put the necessary measures on ground. The example he gave of Ghana, the one I gave of
the government
of outside Nigeria, and then the one he gave too about you going with your own flask. If government put all these kind measures on ground, who are you going to prosecute?
Because you be mindful of where you are, what you are doing, and what
our government wants you to commit. They want you to commit the crime.
So we should not look for offender.
That's it.
We should not look for offender. Like all these other people that stays on the road. You know, they look for offender. They are not there to enlighten. They are not there to educate. They are not there to correct. But they are just training. In fact, they get angry by the time they stop you and they see that you don't have any fault. Rather than to commend you. Let's leave this measure. Let's stop being taskmaster like Pharaoh in the Bible. The Bible said that they asked the Israelites to produce a specific amount of work, and they didn't give them the materials
to do it.
That is what our government is practicing. So it's a new administration. We are begging the new sheriff in town, sir, engage all the sector, the stakeholders in environment.
Let them come together.
Let's brainstorm. And let's make some practicable plan.
That will work.
Are you a contractor? Everything should be done to standards. Don't construct a drainage that is open. Cover it up. Whether somebody will go and dig out the slab to throw plastic bottle inside. Then at the discharge point, like you rightly said, let there be re-monitoring over there.
Continuous offloading of the discharge point.
So, if the government can perform 70%, I'm not talking about 100%.
Even 50.
You will see solution.
Even 50.
Law that is only the poor man that suffers. When a big man offends, that same law cannot be applied to him. So what are we talking about? We should change the narrative from the poor masses suffering to a situation where
No one is above the law.
everybody enjoys. What is applicable to is applicable to B. The government should start the standard for us, and you will see that others will follow suit.
Yeah, so Theophilus talking about PSP's, synergy. I don't know, how do you mean by saying that some people are not, they don't, patronize you and they don't comply? And does it mean that there is no law?
There is law. There is law. The issue is.
Go ahead.
There are things that PSPs will do. There are things
we can't enforce the law.
We are not enforcers of the law. You understand? And that's what she's.
Okay. Does it mean that you don't report?
Of course.
Whatever you see.
No. We are not working in isolation. We are not working in isolation.
How many environmental health officer in that board that manages them? PSP, they are not under us.
Okay, that is true.
But
does it mean that there is no relationship
between
a local government and the PSP?
Suppose, but practically there is
nothing.
We are the little one we are doing. We are only doing it because it's a cause of our job that we
now, Maxwell, because of your position as the state secretary, what would be your recommendation?
My recommendation to the new administration is that first of all we must get a modern incinerating site, a modern recycling site. Because if we are talking about waste separation, we are talking about handling the waste properly, turning it into wealth, it must start from a recycling plant.
Not waste transfer we are doing.
Not waste transfer. As I'm talking to you now, entering our dump site in this rainy season, if your vehicle goes in there and come out, you must visit the mechanic.
You mean it?
Yes.
That's the problem.
So it has gone.
It has gotten to that point that when we take our vehicles to the dump site and come back, you go to the mechanic. And motor parts are very expensive now. So the new sheriff in town, we are using this medium and this opportunity that we must look at waste holistically, the management, bringing all stakeholders to a roundtable discussion and the way forward.
Yeah, so thank you so much for being here with us. I think we're almost rounding up this program today. I want to thank the Theophilus Ogu.
Thank you very much
for being here with us. You are good. And Maxwell Egbe, thank you so much. Yes. We are sorry for what happened to you.
Yes,
the small truck you are using, somebody just came and just stole it away. And God will never forgive that person.
And God will replenish him.
So definitely you will recover from whatever had happened. We are sorry. Madam Esther Dafinene, health officer, please.
The bulldozer.
We are the bulldozer.
I
call her militant participation. Welcome. Thank you so much.
Thank you very much. Debtors, please control your plastic and your waste.
Thank you.
So thank you so much. We'll come back again next week with another program, You and Your Environment. I remain your host, Gilbert Ole. Thank you so much for watching. Twist and dance,